What occurs to the body and brain as we age?
Well, important thing to understand, and by looking at the slide, you will see that we lose 20% of our brain volume between 50 and 80 years of age. And this is extremely significant because we're not only losing cells, but we're also losing connections. And this is why we talk about mild cognitive impairment and age-related cognitive decline. And what we mean by that is we get older because we are losing cells, because we are losing connections, we are actually losing our brain capacity. The second thing is that we lose 50% of our brain agility between 20 and 50. And I want to reiterate that. Between 20 and 50, we're losing 50% of our brain agility. And it's important to know the difference between brain capacity and brain agility, and I'll go into that. Once again, we lose 30 to 36% of our type 2 muscle fibers and 50% of our core strength, as we had mentioned in the exercise program. But let's take a look at what is the difference between brain agility and brain capacity. Because remember, mental agility decreases by 50% from 20 to 50 years of age. But mental capacity does not need to decrease. And as I've shown you, mental capacity is derived by the dendrite bulbs, roots that can easily be spread at any age. Now, let me tell you the difference between the two. I never thought there was this mental agility. You're going to tell me that a person who is 20 years of age has more abilities than I have? Well, before starting my book, The Anti-Alzheimer's Prescription, what I did is I went out and I bought one of these little Game Boys. And I stuck in it, it was $250 plus $60 for a cartridge that was called Brain Age. And in it is a test called the Stroop test. And as you can see on this next slide, that there are certain words that come up, like red, green, blue, colors. But what you're supposed to do is not name the word, but the color. So, for instance, yellow will be written in black. You're supposed to say black, not yellow. Being a doctor using good sleep hygiene, that's only a joke, I take this game to bed with me at about 10:30 at night, and I start using it. And it takes about 3 minutes to go through it. And I'm naming the colors. Every once in a while I hear a little buzz that I made a mistake. And all of a sudden it ends, and up comes 80. And I thought to myself, well, 80 percentile is not bad for a guy my age. And so what is this mental agility all about? Well, as the 80 faded, up came years old. You should have seen my face drop. It just said that I had the mental agility of an 80-year-old. Well, being the type of individual I am, for the next 2 hours I practiced, and by the time I went to bed, I was only 40. But the next morning, I put my son to the test. He's 21. I gave him the exam. I said, do it. Took him 3 minutes, didn't even look at the directions, and 20 came up. He had the mental agility of a 20-year-old. Now, what is this all about? Well, there's a difference between mental agility and mental capacity. Mental agility is the ability to multitask. For instance, Einstein and most of the major findings in physics have been done by people who are less than 24 years of age. What I thought of what mental agility is not much different than physical agility. Would you want a 60-year-old to be playing on your basketball team? Or a 20-year-old? Well, it's obvious. Well, it's the same thing with mental agility. We truly do lose 50% of our mental agility from 20 to 50 years of age. But we can practice, and through Neurobics, we can improve our mental agility. It won't be that of a 20-year-old, I will tell you. But another thing you should understand, what is mental capacity? When you have a coach, do you want it to be a 20-year-old or do you want it to be a 60-year-old? Mental capacity is all the learning all the experience that is in the dendritic bulbs that we rely on in order to make decisions. It is mental capacity that gives us the wisdom to know the difference between what is controlled stress and uncontrolled stress. Often youth think they can do anything and put themselves at tremendous risk. Why? Is because they don't have the wisdom that comes with mental capacity. Remember, you can continue to maintain your intelligence as long as you use it. If you do not, you will, in fact, lose it. And if you take a look at the two brains on the screen right now, you will see the normal one, the person who has used Neurobics, and the other side, the one who has allowed his brain to decrease in size and atrophy.